A quick proof of concept of grid style sheets using Wakanda. Grid style sheets is a different way to do layout with CSS, and quite a bit different than what is typically going on in development practices right now. And so what I have here is I have grid style sheets pulled in, and I have a page, just a blank Wakanda page. And let's go ahead and show you here that it is working. Alright, let's put two guys here. So we know that's right there. Now let's get grid style sheets resources in here. So I'm going to go down here just before the loader. And what this is right here, I'm joined, by the way, by Troy Elliott of Data Mosaic as well. Hi, Troy.
Hello.
There's a couple resources we're bringing in as the main library there. Then they have all this is extra processing that they're doing to convert their language into CSS. It happens in a worker, and so both of those resources are going to be in this grid style sheets distribution in here. There's the worker, and there's the main library, and there's that's the whole project I just pulled down. So that's going to bring that into the page here. Back to design. Go back over here. Let's just make sure that that's in here. If I refresh. Okay, there's only one thing is when you add stuff like that to Wakanda, let's go. It said there's two things in there. So first thing I'm going to check is to see if this variable is there. To see if it's running. I suspect it is, but let's just check to make sure. Yes, but there's two things. So I suspect that with WD-40 that this guy here is coming in twice because of the package JSON. So I'm just going to go over here and yeah, that guy right there. Oops, copy that over. Let's paste it there. And let's just redo this guy. Okay, no double, but it should be coming in here as well, though. This is still there. All right, so we have grid going just fine. Now, grid uses some interesting syntax, and for their it's something equals something. It's completely different than CSS, so just go check it out. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't know much about it either, but the concept is very intriguing. So let's just put a couple of these together so I know. I should probably get my, hopefully that didn't resave in there. Okay, so I'm actually going to just do this and do that, save, close. Then when I get here, I won't overwrite that. This constraint CSS I want to get on the page as well. And that, did I get that at the top? I think I need to, how did we do that? Oh, there it is. I already have it in here at the top, guys. So that's how I just... Now check out this. The type text GSS, whatever we put in this constraint CSS, gets parsed by the GSS JavaScript. So that's what they're looking for, is this link tag. All right, so this index CSS is what gets, when we throw a widget onto Wakanda, which gets generated automatically. So we can't put things in here because this gets rebuilt every time you drag stuff around in Designer. So we're going to go ahead and close that down, and we're going to go into this guy here. Now here's the first example is we have a container, and we want to say, hey, let's say we want the container to have the same width as the window. I think that's the name of it's here. So it's going to be the left quarter of the window. So it's not going to show up here because that's the index CSS that does that. But if we refresh over here, you'll notice if I do my screen here like that, it should update. All right, that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and make it scan the top and the bottom here. So refresh. There's the top and the bottom, and that's the left quarter, so that's pretty cool. Let's put another guy on here, and I'm just going to copy. Well, that's copy today is not a component. Sometimes when this starts bugging out like that, good old Wakanda, just have to reopen it. Copy paste and that usually was when you go into source mode when things bug out like that. So we're going to put container 2. Now this, it's going to actually, this is a fixed position if I don't do anything here. So we have this container has some of this constraints built in, and this one's still using fixed. So you can actually mix and match regular CSS and that Wakanda is using, and if you're even using Bootstrap type CSS, it'll all mix and match pretty well. So let's get this one. I think what we want to do on this one is actually, I'm just going to copy this over entirely. So if we want this to take up the rest of the window, we're going to do something like this. So the top again is going to be window top, the bottom is window bottom, the right is going to be window right, and then the left, and I'm going to give it a margin of 10. Container, you're the one that figured that one out, Troy. Can you explain that line?
Sure. You're setting the left position to be the same width as the first container. So the first container is a quarter of the screen. So you want the second container to start at a quarter of a screen.
Yeah, so mentally thinking about these rules, matching rules, is a little tough at first. I'm certainly struggling. So that was a really good explanation. All right, so there you have it. You have, it's very easy to lay out. I think once you get to learn their language, some of the examples they have on their website, so I just did the very simple ones. And they even have if clauses, so you can detect if your window is only 300 pixels wide, for example, which would be a mobile. You could then reflow things differently. And so that is the Cassowary grid style sheets polyfill, and it's this Cassowary constraint solver. Try to say that 10 times real fast. And same thing that Apple is using in their in some of their Xcode tools for mobile layout. And that is it with Wakanda. David Workman and Troy Elliott from Data Mosaic.